What's up, guys, and welcome back. Today I am reviewing Indonesian action-packed thriller The Night Comes For Us, featuring Iko Uwais and Joe Taslim. Make sure to bring plenty of band-aids, stitches, neck braces, hell, even bring your physician or chiropractor, because this movie hits so hard, you're gonna feel it. Let's talk about this review. So like I mentioned earlier, The Night Comes For Us features Iko Uwais and Joe Taslim, and if you don't know who these guys are, I don't even know who you are! So both Iko and Joe are huge Indonesian martial art action superstars, and if you haven't seen The Raid Redemption or The Raid 2, I highly encourage you to check out both those films, especially the first Raid movie, because they feature both these actors, and it is one of the greatest action movies of all time. And Joe Taslim, remember that name because he was also cast as Bihan or Sub-Zero in the new Mortal Kombat film reboot that's scheduled to release in 2021. So The Night Comes For Us focuses on a character named Ito. He is part of a triad crime family where he turns his back on his people in order to save the life of a young girl. And from there on, he is basically a fugitive, John Wick style, fighting for his life. And another thing I want to touch on briefly too with these two actors, they are not as mainstream as action heavyweights like Jet Li or Jackie Chan. And it's a shame because I feel like if you were to go up to somebody and just ask them, hey, do you know who Iko Uwais is? They're probably gonna look at you and be like, what's an Iko? I mean, do you mean like global, like recycling and stuff? And Teslas? That I feel like would be the response you would probably get unless you are a hardcore action film junkie, martial art action film junkie. Then you would probably be like, yeah, I know who that is. And you should, because these guys are great. And I hate that these guys are not more mainstream in the States. And I don't know if that's just a choice amongst them in the roles that they choose and, you know, kind of crossing over doing films in the States, or if it's just the typical Hollywood thing of just them not willing to take a risk or chance casting an actor that no one is familiar with. Could be just that, because it's something that happens in Hollywood. And I feel like it's a shame because these two guys are on fire. They are amazing at what they do. And, you know, even if they don't do more American films, I am completely fine with that because what they are doing in Indonesia as far as action films, they are killing it. Like, I don't even think Hollywood would even take those chances. And that's what makes Indonesian action films so great, because they push the boundaries of what can be done in front of the lens as far as action. And one of the things I enjoyed so much about this movie was the intensity of the fight sequences. Like, the fight scenes in this movie are over 9,000. The fights are so insanely violent, bloody, gory, and if you're the squeamish type, like, you may want to bring like a paper bag, or I don't know, take Pepto-Bismol or something, because this movie will have your stomach turning. Especially the insane final fight in this movie. That may just be the most brutal fight scene in the history of fight scene sequences in any movie I've ever seen. And even though there are moments where some of the fights are a little bit over the top, but it's never enough to pull you out in the movie because of just how violent those scenes are. I mean, it's so insane that, like, you have a woman in this movie who is still fighting with her intestines hanging out of her belly, like, you see, it hits so hard you feel it. It feels like it's happening to you. And another thing was the inventive camera work. Like, I really love how this movie was shot. And this is the kind of camera work I would expect from someone like Darren Aronofsky, if you have ever seen his movie Requiem for a Dream, and just how creative he is with those camera shots and angles. Like, in this movie, you have a lot of really cool and crazy shots. I couldn't even believe where they would get this camera in those scenes. Like, you had the camera rigged to the end barrel of a shotgun, rotating. Like, you even had where the camera was behind a fist, just following the movement of a hook punch. The camera itself felt like a character in this movie. So they did a really good job with just like getting that camera right in there in the action to make you feel like you were actually there. And even though both Iko and Joe were amazing in this movie, I cannot give them 100% of the credit because there is another character that is part of the Triad family who's sent out to kill Ito, played by actress Julie Estelle, and she plays a character called the Operator. She was so badass in this movie. Like she looked like a Alita Battle Angel all grown up in a proper R-rated movie.
She wore bug-eyed.
But real. And she was just another phenomenal standout, and it was just a trio of awesomeness that only give us some of the greatest action of all time. Notice how I didn't mention too much about the story because this movie is 98% action, 2% story. And I didn't think it needed any more story than just the simple setup and simple premise, because the strengths of this movie are with the kicks and punches. It's all about the action. See, now I'm all worked up and I'm real excited, and I feel like swinging this at somebody. And yes, I know how to use these. You see it? Exactly, because I am that fast. So yeah, The Night Comes For Us is an excellent action-packed fun ride, and it is definitely worthy of your time and definitely worth a chug of groovy juice. So there you have it. Definitely check it out. It's on Netflix, and if you guys have seen the movie, let me know down in the comments below. And here's a question for you guys. Who is your favorite action movie star? Mine was always this guy, Bruce Lee. Also, Donnie Yen, another one of the best living martial artists today. If you haven't seen the Ip Man movies, please check those out. So good. And that's gonna do it for me today, guys. If you guys enjoy movies or reviews, please consider subscribing and becoming a part of the community. Also hit that notification bell so that you are in the know when I upload more reviews. And I'll see you guys in the next review. Keep it groovy.